Hey everyone, I am here live at the Utah League of Legends tournament at the Salt Lake Comic Con, and we are getting into our very first game between the teams LoLH and TwistShot. Do we know what LoH stands for? LoLH?
League of Last Hits.
Yeah. League of Last Hits, perfect. Yeah. So we have League of Last Hits over on the blue side, and TwistShot over on the purple team. And for our bans, we had Vayne, Cassid, and Blitzcrank, which is a very common bans, probably not exactly targeted, just champions they don't have to deal with. Then over on the purple team, we have again some very strong champions, Zac, Shen, and Thresh. We're all going to be out of the running for both teams here. And then now we have our picks set up. 3 done on the blue team. We have Jarvan in the jungle. Then we have our Varus and Leona bot lane, which are going to be very strong together. A lot of combo-based skills there, going to be putting out a lot of damage with spells early on in the game. In the purple team, we have a Draven, which hasn't been quite so used on the competitive scene, but if he gets some early kills, can be a very, very strong contender against that Varus and Leona. Going to be very dangerous with the lack of escapes, but he does have the Nami as his support, which will provide him with a little bit of peel, will help keep that very aggressive lane off of him. This bot lane over on the blue team for League of Last Hits will be very, very vulnerable to these Hecarim ganks, which we might see coming out before level 6, but will be very, very powerful once he hits level 6, has his ultimate, and can run in there and disrupt the enemy team. Then it looks like a Lee Sin coming out in the purple team, probably going to be in that top lane, building a Tiamat and a Rabidus Hydra, going to push that lane. Could be a mid Lee Sin as well, to take out a squishy mid lane, which it looks like will be coming out as Orianna here, as well as a Jace in the top lane. And Heimerdinger hover over here for TwistShot. Probably not going to be locked in. If it is, I will be very happy. It'll be the first Heimerdinger game that I have cast in my League of Legends career, and would be a very exciting moment. But he might be hovering over that until he locks in a different pick. Up in the top lane, Lee Sin would actually be a very dangerous opponent for Jace, just because he's a very strong champion with a lot of burst damage and some great mobility and gap closers, which is kind of what Jace fears most. He's very strong at his range and is able to engage in some small duels, but in a straight-on 1v1 fight, Lee Sin will take it pretty much every time. Lee Sin will also be able to prevent Jace's strong pushing with his gated Q combo once he gets that Ravenous Hydra, and should be kind of a perma push in this top lane. We now have everyone selected, with an Ahri locked in for the mid lane over on TwistShot, who was probably picked as a direct counter to the Orianna. Just a very strong champion, able to Spirit Rush away from the Orianna Shockwave, and able to just completely outplay Orianna with the mobility. If she is caught by the Orianna Shockwave, then that could be devastating for her, but she does have the opportunity to Spirit Rush both out of the Orianna ultimate, the Leona ultimate, the Varus, and the Jarvan ultimate. So that that mobility will be very, very dangerous on her. I might be dropping the stream occasionally. I'm not. I apologize if that's the case. Let me know in the chat how it's going, but it looks like that's not being a problem right now. It might just be a problem with my computer. And so I'm just going to make sure if there's anything I can increase for the quality, just let me know, and I will try to take care of that. And encoding, let's see if I can up that bit right here. And alright, so now we are in our spectator delay here. Our teams are in other rooms. We're set up here at the bow that stands for Broadview Entertainment Arts University, which is here in Salt Lake, and they've been very kind to let us use their facilities and to be able to set up here, so we have a couple classrooms for our competitors who are going to be competing against each other as part of this Comic-Con tournament. And we're here in our spectator room, where we have a few individuals here watching the tournament, as well as me. I'll be solo casting this game. I do have my friend Jared Hickman, in-game name Entropic Order, going to come up and co-cast with me, hopefully soon. That would be outstanding, but until then, I am your man. And so, just a quick examination of these teams. Purple team has an outstanding amount of mobility, with those solo laners in the jungler They just have so many gap closers, so much speed, as well as the Nami kind of making up for the Draven's lack of mobility. He will be able to run in there with his increased movement speed, but Nami kind of does everything for his team with the speed buffs as well as the crowd control she brings, and so that's going to be a very dangerous team. I feel like scaling into the late game very well, just based purely off of mobility. Even though Lee Sin doesn't generally have great late game scaling, if Draven can get some kills early, get that gold, and hit his late game before the Varus, then he might have the edge there. However, the blue team has a very, very strong team fight. If they are able to catch the Ahri or the Lee Sin, or even just focus on the Draven with his kind of lack of mobility, no gap closers or dashes except for his flash, then they have the Jargon ultimate to lock down, the Orianna to reposition, the Varus and Leona ultimates with a lot of lockdown, and then the Jace bringing out a lot of damage once he gets that Mirror Mana and maybe a Black Cleaver or a Bloodthirster, just for some kind of pure AD, bringing in that very strong EQ combo. Was the victim of some nerfs recently, but those did just bring him down to a balanced level. He still is a very strong champion who now does have some weaknesses, which might not have been the case before. So we have about 30 seconds here remaining on the delay, and once that is complete, we will get into our game. The first game here of the Utah League of Legends Comic-Con tournament. We do have at least one other game going on concurrently, and so I will just bring you hopefully all the winners brackets games. We will round up with the semifinals and the finals later on in the day, just depending on how all the teams do. We might have some teams get knocked out quickly, and with hopefully a couple making it all the way through for a very outstanding finals match. But here our spectator delay is gone. I will add League of Legends once I find it here on OBS. And if you just give me 1 second, then I will get us back to the loading screen, which might not be the most interesting part of the game.
No, you gotta tell me the truth, dude. If you can, that's okay.
How do I get back to OBS?
Back to what?
OBS. Can I just alt tab?
Yeah. You should be able to.
Oh, there we go. Alright, sorry about the delay here, guys, but I will get that up for you in just a second. This is a new computer that I am using for the VGA connection. And let's see how this is shaping up right now. Sorry for the offline screen right now. I'm going to try to get the loading screen into you, which might not show up until we're actually all loaded into the game.
It's like honor points. Oh, that automatic deposit. I know. I thought like there's you can do like you can also do like depending on like like reward.
Sorry guys, we're just waiting a little bit here. We might take a minute to load into the game, but hopefully we won't be missing out on too much. And hopefully if you're seeing on stream, we are loaded in the game now. Both teams are buying and leaving their bases.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift. A summoner has disconnected.
Alright, we do have a pause coming out with a disconnect, and so while we do that, we are going to go ahead and see if we can't. There we go, yeah. We are in our tournament draft right now, so you can do /pause. Each team has 15 minutes of pause, and so hopefully we'll get someone reconnected. But we don't have the game up for you right now. I'm sorry about that, and I'll see what we can do to show you guys this exciting pause screen right now.
I need to watch this. Is that's it. Hop in.
and we're not quite there yet. Perfect, there we are. We now have our game up here live for you all, and let me just give you our beautiful overlay, which isn't quite fitting with the rest right now.
A summoner has reconnected.
There's a move to the top.
Wish this was fitting a little bit better. This is the problem is this computer screen is a weird resolution, but
Right underneath. Right underneath settings.
right. Oh, right.
Okay.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, there you go.
Almost.
And then the bottom. Just drag it. I don't remember.
The problem is that the resolution is just entirely off, but that looks about as close as we can get. A little bit.
If you had full control, you could custom. Maybe you should make the corners smaller. I should. It keeps that rectangular.
30 seconds until minions spawn.
Yeah. What do you Yeah.
Yeah, I wish I could maintain the aspect ratio here, but okay, that looks like a pretty solid overlay. Perfect. Well, now we can get back to our game, which hasn't had much action at all. We are tied at our 2.4 thousand starting gold, and we just have. It looks like purple team has set up to defend that blue buff. Going to give Hecarim a strong leech with Jarvan down here starting red, and I will go ahead and order these so you can compare both teams a little bit better. We have Chase up here in the top. Facing off, both teams just getting a standard leash at their respective buffs. Jarvan actually losing quite a bit of health on here, as well as Hecarim, and so they won't have quite as comfortable of a jungle there. But in the top lane, like I said, Lee Sin is going to have a little bit of an advantage here with that strong gap closer. Probably going to be able to outtrade and outmaneuver the Jace, but we'll see how each opponent plays, because it could entirely go the other way, and I could just be full of hot air. In the bot lane, actually, we have Jarvan sneaking into this push at level 2, just spending a little bit of time in there, but might be coming out with a flag toss and Dragon Strike combo. So there he is, he moves in, he jumps on, forces a flash out of Draven, and so a successful gank. We'll see if he can follow up on it, but for now, not too much action down there. Both teams still side, and really no advantage anywhere. We have a very safe mid lane with an Ahri just pushing a little bit far, but without Jarvan too close in the area, she's safe for now. And so now we have Hecarim looking towards the top lane, might be moving in here, moves in there. Jace has no wards in his river, does retreat into that bush, and we might successful gank out of here, forces the flash out of him, and puts some good damage down, but isn't going to follow up on that resonating strike. And 2 successful ganks from each jungler forcing the flashes, but until we see some kills up on the board, then it might not mean anything for our game. Currently, pretty much every lane is about even, except for Varus down there, who is doing a little bit better in his creep score, and doesn't really have too many minions on his side, and so he's facing off pretty well. It looks like it is eating up right now, so we might not have too much action come out unless Jarvan can get a successful gank. Up here in the top lane, we have a fight going out between Jace and Lee Sin. Misses the Dragon Lance and just puts some damage. Pretty good gated Q onto that Lee Sin, going to even up the health bars here. Ooh, Lee Sin does a Resonating Strike back in, and the Ignite takes out Lee Sin for the first blood. Does take down Jace in response, but that's still going to be a 300 gold advantage going to the blue team for this first blood. And an excellent gank from Jarvan, even though he missed that Dragon Strike, was still able to give his team a nice advantage there. And we have Hecarim just running around with his double buffs, hasn't been able to make a successful gank to follow up in that top lane, unfortunately. But in the bottom lane, we still have Draven with less than half of his cooldown up on his flash. So if we see some action down here soon, it could result for a kill on him. Both AD carries have evened up about the same, as well as our top laners and our mid laners. Hecarim kind of with the only noticeable advantage, but missing that kill. Both teams are falling pretty even in gold right here. We do have Jarvan moving down. There's no ward in that bush for the purple team. And this could be the follow-up gank he was looking for after forcing that Draven's Flash. The lane is pushing pretty hard, but in the middle lane, we have a gank from Hecarim forcing out, but now Jarvan, Dragon Lance is in. They are going to be able to take out this Draven with an excellent piercing arrow from the Varus, and are able to claim that. That was an excellent follow-up from the Jarvan. In the mid lane during all of that, we did have some movement onto that Orianna. He's sitting very low on health with Ahri, very happy right now. But that's kind of going to be expected in an Ahri-Orianna matchup. You don't pick Orianna to win a lane, you pick her to win a game. And so we're going to see how this fares. She is still creep scoring very effectively, actually beating the Ahri, so that gank may not mean a lot with that with those potions and the crystalline flask. She is still sitting very healthy right now, almost back up to full. And both mid laners have at their level 6. We should probably be looking at Ahri to roam and gank the top or bottom lanes soon here. Up in the top lane, both lanes, actually Jace has claimed a pretty significant advantage after getting that early kill. Is now sitting pretty solidly up in creeps, and just now the lane is pushing, so Lee Sin might see a little bit of a return there with the next few minutes. We have Hecarim and Jarvan here fighting in the mid lane. Jarvan did not get the knockup up, I believe, and the Orianna ultimate did come out, but in the end, no kills. Probably a little bit in purple team's favor there, with all ultimates forced except for Jarvan's and Lee Sin, who don't quite have theirs yet. Our blue buffs, our blue buff on the purple side and our red buff on the blue side will be coming up in just a few seconds here, so we'll probably see Jarvan grabbing that for himself right now as it spawns, as well as Ahri getting over that blue buff. She will have a slightly earlier buff than her mid counterpart, so that might prove very effective for them. There, up in the top lane, we have a little bit of engagement, just kind of putting some damage down on each other. Lee Sin is winning that engagement for now, with that very strong potential gap closing and everything. But right now, the lanes have kind of evened out. Varus sitting a little bit healthier because of that early gank and having the kill. Does have his BF sword to Draven's to Draven only having a Vampiric Scepter. And both laners are probably going to run for a VF sword. Draven with fantastic AD scaling, as well as Varus with the great scaling on his Q and his E, making him a pretty solid spellcaster. And right now Varus is on his way to hit that a little bit earlier. Neither jungler has made a move for this bottom lane. It actually looks like Jarvan might be invading up here in the blue jungle, and does place a ward down there, sees Hecarim going for it, but I think Hecarim knows. Pings caution and pulls his Lee Sin over to provide some safety. So right now Jarvan's just waiting in the river. We can see if he can go for the steal here, but with Lee Sin coming down here, they're not going to have any of that. And so right now, both teams are just kind of waiting to make the play that'll put them ahead. Blue team is sitting about 900 ahead in gold, and so they do have the advantage right here, but that might not mean a lot. You know, it is a giant spelled up, but in the end, it might not mean the fight. Jarvan does go for the invade here, does smite it away, and now this is Hecarim without a red buff. He's sitting very low on health, but shouldn't be going down to this. A lot of damage going on to Jarvan. Hecarim going to be taken down by that ignite. Jarvan claiming the kill with his ultimate. And an excellent play from blue team, claiming that, hitting level 6 off of the smite, stealing it, and then going down on the very, very low Hecarim. Hecarim tried to turn that around, wasn't quite able to, especially not being level 6, not having his ult. And excellent roam from Ahri coming up there in the bush, able to jump out. And but unfortunately, it didn't mean a lot for our team. We have a pause coming out here. I'm just going to check, see.
A summoner has disconnected.
And it looks like we have a disconnect coming out from Draven, unfortunately. And so we're just going to be waiting on him. While we wait on him, I'll just talk a little about this game. Right now we have Leona level 6, but has Leona not leveled up her ultimate yet? It looks like she doesn't have a rank in her ultimate. It might just have waited to put that point in. But right now, almost every player in the game is level 6 except for Draven and Hecarim over here on the purple team. So blue team, actually with the experience advantage, might be able to pressure out some fights here. With Draven not having his Whirling Death ultimate, if they engage in a fight, he'll just be missing a lot of damage that might be essential there for that upcoming fight. And Nami not having her tidal wave either. Maybe the client's just bugging out and not showing me these ultimates, because I feel like Jason should probably be up. So that could be the case right here, with Leona and Nami actually taking points in their ultimates at level 6, which would make the most sense here. And so until then, we're just waiting on this pause. Right now in our lanes, it looks like purple team has a CS advantage, a small CS advantage in the jungle and in the mid lane, but the significant advantage is over there on the Varus, who's now sitting about 20 CS ahead. If we check the gold on that, Varus is sitting up at 2,900 gold. He is the richest character in the game, and he is about 700 gold ahead of his counterpart Draven. And so he is going to be hitting that Bloodthirster 700 gold faster, and we'll be doing very well once he gets that Bloodthirster, able to throw out some very significant Qs, which, you know, as Maple Street has talked about, and we've seen him show in his LCS games on Velocity, when you get a Bloodthirster on Varus early, you can put out a lot of damage with the charged up piercing arrow. And you know, Maple Street showed us in his CLG game pulling an unofficial pentakill with solely piercing arrows, getting the last hits except for one, I believe, on the support, which he got down with auto attacks. But a very strong AD carry once he gets that gold advantage. And another disconnect and reconnect coming out, so hopefully we have everyone ready to go here, and we will be able to restart this. I should probably check the chat on here to see exactly what is going on. And it looks like we have Froggen DDoSing this game. In the bot lane, a lot of damage going down onto Draven, not hitting that level 6 yet. And Nami has to be careful. She doesn't want to go down either. She does stay safe for now. And that was an excellent play from Leona hitting that level 6. And oh, picks her up with the piercing arrow snipe. An unfortunate positioning by Nami. And a great play from Varus. Now our blue team is about 3,300 or 2,300 gold ahead. Is going to be solidly ahead, especially in this bot lane. On the BF sword is going to be able to pick up a Bloodthirster on his next back and be very safe up there with that attack damage. And that's kind of the biggest advantage we can see right here is on that bot lane. He's about 25 CS ahead and 3 kills. Draven has died twice, hasn't been able to get anything out of that passive, the League of Draven. And until that happens, he won't be able to hit those late game items. For the moment, he essentially doesn't have a passive because it hasn't meant anything for him in this game right now. And so Varus is just going to stay in lane, not by his Bloodthirster yet, just going to press this level advantage he has on the Draven, who has just hit level 6, does have his Whirling Death. With Varus, not a lot of mana, he should probably look to push this into the tower and then buy that Bloodthirster to get him the real item advantage there. Draven does have the boots advantage right now, but that will mean a lot in a straight-on 2v2 dupe. Might allow him for some poking to force Varus out of lane, but at this point that'll only benefit Varus. Another pause coming out. We'll see what they say. We have another DC. Unfortunately, the internet here has been a little spotty, but luckily we do have the pauses here, and should be able to bring everything here up to speed. So right now we have blue team in a very solid position, 5-1 in kills. No turrets taken in the game yet, but we do have a 2,500 gold advantage, mostly coming out of the spot lane, as well as some excellent Jarvan ganks and invades in the jungle. But right now, kind of the teams have gone back to duking it out. Hecarim and Jarvan probably now looking for some lanes to gank to make differences there. Blue team is probably in a position to take a dragon once Varus goes back and buys that Bloodthirster. But Ahri at the moment is sitting very powerful on a needlessly large rod, probably looking to rush that Deathfire Grasp. And in the top lane, what we completely missed was Jace going on to Lee Sin. I must have called this lane wrong. Was probably helped by the Jarvan ganks, but Jace is sitting very comfortable up here with his Bloodthirster. Pretty solid item advantage over the Lee Sin, who has yet to grab his Tiamat, let alone his Ravenous Hydra. And an excellent 1v1 kill, bringing him to 2-1. He's going to put some solid damage on this turret, but with Lee Sin responding in 4 seconds, probably won't be able to take the turret quite yet. But this is a very exciting first round of our Salt Lake Comic-Con League of Legends tournament, with blue team now sitting about 3,000 ahead in gold. Might be looking for a dragon here, but right now Jarvan has made his way to the bottom lane, and might be ganking on this Draven. Draven does not have his flash. His barrier's coming up soon. Will probably be up in time to... Oh, we have the ultimate coming out from Varus as well, the follow-up from Leona. That was no chance for that Nami there, just putting on way too much damage. We do have 2 ultimates down for the blue team, but at this point they're in such a comfortable position. We have the E going down from Leona, but the Dragon Strike not going to connect onto Draven. The flash is forced out from Hecarim, and they will be able to push it up to the turret. Shouldn't be able to put down too much damage onto it quite yet, but blue team could be looking to take a dragon here very soon. They are sitting 6 kills up, as well as that 3,000 gold, which hasn't increased too much despite the 2 kills. Ahri is doing a solid job CSing in that mid lane. It is 0-0. And we don't have too much advantage coming out from there yet, but we might see her making a move very soon when she picks up that Deathfire Grasp for the insane burst damage. We have an invade from Jarvan coming in here, but the charm from Ahri lands. This is going to be a very dead Jarvan. Nami picks up the kill, bringing her to 1 and 2. Probably wanted to get that onto Ahri to get her that Deathfire Grasp as soon as possible, but the blue buff does go over to Ahri. Very unfortunate invade from Jarvan going in solidly alone. Up in the top lane, the brilliant solocaster I missed once again. Jace went in on the Lee Sin, blew his ignite, and was able to pick up a 3rd kill for himself this game. He's very close to picking up that Black Cleaver as well as his Mana Mune. Is stacking that up rather slowly here at 188, and but should be able to hit a Mirror Mana possibly around 30 or 35 minutes into this game. And so right now blue team is in a very powerful position, hasn't been able to increase their gold lead, actually has lost a little bit with the past couple minutes, even with those kills, especially with Jarvan giving that kill up to Nami. Nami, of course, isn't the character you want, but she will be able to get that Sight Stone and that Ruby Sight Stone possibly a little bit faster with that extra gold, and should be able to provide blue team a little bit, purple team a little bit more vision. Right now our vision on the map is pretty low. We have blue team with 1 ward on the map just here in the river, and then we have purple team with 2 wards on either buff. Jace is throwing down a defensive ward up there, and is playing very aggressively against this Lee Sin. He has a 2-level advantage, as well as a pretty significant item advantage, but with Hecarim coming in here for the gank, this could be a very dead Jace. He does not have his flash up, but they aren't able to put down quite enough damage. Hecarim decides to save his ultimate, doesn't want to quite use it on Jace, especially with a potential dragon fight coming up here soon. That might have been the right decision. But for now, Lee Sin is not having a good time up in this top lane. Takes an accelerated Q to the face, which about takes a 1/3 of his life away. And they're still able to play very aggressively, but in the mid lane, we have Jarvan coming in for an excellent gank, giving Orianna a kill on this Ahri. Ahri is probably the biggest hope for the purple team they have right now. does have her Deathfire Grasp, but wasn't able to put enough damage to clinch out the Ahri, or clinch out the Orianna. Jarvan just such an excellent ganker. Did use his Cataclysm as well as his full combo for that gank, and a lot of crowd control coming out from blue team was able to clinch that. And just some great presence by Jarvan, as well as some excellent play in this bottom lane. We see Varus and Leona sitting about 40 ahead in creep score right now, as well as Varus's 3 kills. Did pick up that Bloodthirster, is sitting on quite a bit of attack damage right now, going to be putting out some very powerful piercing arrows. And if they decide to go for Dragon here soon, which they should, it is 16 minutes of the game and we haven't seen an attempt quite yet. I expect to see one maybe in about 19 minutes, also when they take down this turret, which will be falling very, very soon. And until that happens, we might not see much more come out of this game quite yet. He is putting down just 2 more shots and this tower should be down, and then blue team will be in a very comfortable position to go for that Dragon. Now 4,000 gold ahead, and TwistShot is going to have to make some serious plays here if they want to pull back into the game, since they don't necessarily have the late game advantage unless they can abuse their mobility there. Right now, our blue team, which is League of Blast Hits, is doing an excellent job in clinching that early advantage, grabbing that creep score, and grabbing the turrets, as we just saw in the bot lane. Jarvan coming in to make sure that happens, and now it looks like blue team will make a move for Dragon, has placed a pink ward down in that river. Doesn't have a pink ward on Dragon, but they don't need it right now with purple team having no wards, and throw down the pink just to make sure. We'll take an uncontested Dragon here, with Orianna ready and waiting with her command Shockwave just in case any fight broke out. They did take that down very quickly with Jarvan's Spirit of the Elder Lizard as well as Varus's Bloodthirster. A pause coming out, a disconnect from this team. Unfortunately, we are having some serious disconnects coming out, but we do have 15 minutes of pause for each team, and we should be able to get everyone back into the game to clinch out this first round of the Salt Lake Comic-Con League of Legends tournament. And it looks like we have our disconnects back into the game. And Orianna actually decided to rush a Rabadon's Death Cap instead of opting for some early sustainer utility, like in an Athene's Unholy Grail. And she's just going to be putting out a lot of damage, able to burst down teams quickly with her Shockwave. Ahri still does have her excellent burst damage potential coming out with that Deathfire Grasp, as well as an excellent assassination kit. But until she can really get some assassinations, maybe off of the Hecarim gank, she's not going to be seeing any kills soon. We have Jarvan sitting here in a bush, I guess waiting for a gank, but he is standing on top of a ward. If he's not careful, he's going to be taken out here, but with Varus and Leona pushing up very far, no one's quite in a position to take him out. He might be moving in for a turret dive here. Purple team does know where he is. While all this goes down, Jace has taken a turret up in the top lane. We have the turret dive coming in. Jarvan jumps in. He's not able to get his ultimate out. Is almost dead. Locks up Raven with the ultimate, but the Whirling Death comes down. They take out Varus. They get Leona. Double kill for Draven, able to bring him a lot of gold from his passive, as well as Ahri picking up that kill finally with her Deathfire Grasp assassination combo. And we did see that lovely hail of gold coming down on Draven once he has over 100 stacks on his League of Draven passive. If he gets a kill, he does have gold rain upon his head, because he is very happy to receive that. If we look at what he gained 432 gold just from his passive for those kills. So that did bring Purple Team in a little bit better position. They still are 4,000 gold behind, and we might have another disconnect coming out here, a pause. We do have 23 minutes remaining of pause time, but hopefully we don't use all of that up, because we want to make sure that everything goes. So we had a small DC, but we are ready to go back into this game at the Salt Lake Comic-Con. And so right now, Purple Team really has to make some plays, which they just did, fending off a very unfortunate turret dive over here from League of Blast Hits. But TwistShot has to keep continuing, maybe taking a bit of advantage over here around this dragon to claim that for themselves, that global gold, as well as maybe teaming up to push turrets, because Lee Sin hasn't left this top lane yet this game. He's making a play for the turret, but down in the bottom lane we have some aggression. The E coming out from Leona, but an excellent Aqua Prison from Nami, able to lock up the Varus for to have no follow-up there. And right now, we've just kind of fallen back into our standard lanes. Lee Sin has tried to make a push up on this top lane, but hasn't able to bring it down yet. Does jump in with his Q, but jumps directly out because he is not in a position to duel this Jace right now. But decides to duel him, uses his kick to kick Jace out, but he is sitting very low. Is putting down some serious damage on the Jace, but with the Ignite ticking down, he'll be finished off very quickly. To the skies coming down, finishing off with an auto attack, and Jace has picked up his 4th kill of the game on this Lee Sin. Lee Sin made a very unfortunate play of aggression there, but down in the bottom lane, blue team bringing in some more kills with an excellent gank from Jarvan. Varus gets caught by the charm, and Ahri picks up a kill for herself. Leona does flash out, but with the Ahri Spirit Rush, she might be able to pick up another kill for herself. Does pick up a double kill. A very excellent play for the Ahri. 3 kills for the blue team and all of that, including that play up top. But overall, even down in our bot lane, with Ahri with some excellent roam, Orianna didn't quite get there in time and was able to pick up both the Leona and the Varus for herself. The Varus was sitting very high up on gold, does have that static shiv and the Bloodthirster combination. And Ahri is hunting for this Jarvan, but isn't able to find him quite yet. Jarvan might turn it on the Nami, would be dangerous, but he might be looking to make that play since Ahri is nowhere close. And Nami is going to back off after sitting there for just a minute. Up in the top lane, we have some very serious extension from Jace. Does jump out, knock him away, and flashes away the Lee Sin Q, whiffing up top there, but Jace was able to put down some decent damage onto that turret. And so for now, we see just continuous map control by League of Last Hits over here on our blue team. Some excellent roam from Ahri really bringing out the plays. 3-1-1 right now. Does have the assist from that unfortunate Nami secure, but overall the teams are rather feud. Draven is just sitting here, might have disconnected, is just auto-attacking the Varus. Might have recognized his death right here, but we have the Ahri teleport coming in, Spirit Rush on, some excellent burst coming out. With that, hasn't used Deathfire's Grasp, uses Deathfire's Grasp active on Leona. Spirit Rushes, lands the charm, but doesn't have anything to follow it up. Clinches it with an Orb of Deception right at the end. And in the middle lane, we had Ori go for a kill on Hecarim, which was very unfortunate. Looks like Draven lagged out there, unfortunately, was just auto-attacking away right there. But Ahri was able to pick up a double kill for herself, now sitting up at 5-1. She's keeping her team in the game, but unfortunately Hecarim did go down in the middle, did give up a turret for the mid lane, and the blue team is going to keep pushing on here for some damage onto the inner turret. Ahri did take the bottom turret for herself, so she is currently kind of single-handedly carrying the team right here. Draven does have a couple kills, does have a BF sword probably to grab a Infinity Edge here soon. We're going to be getting out some massive damage on auto attacks. Might be enough because we don't have a lot of armor coming in on our blue team. We have Jarvan now sitting up, almost grabbing that Aegis of the Legion, going to turn that into a Locket of the Iron Solari. But until that happens, we have a very squishy blue team here, the League of Last Hits. Over on the purple team, we do have our TwistShot, who are doing very well with Ahri keeping them in this game. Jarvan is coming in for a gank, it looks like, but with Ahri and Hecarim roaming up top, that might not be the best idea. We now looks like we have a 3v3, maybe a 4v4 if Leona continues up, but she doesn't. She's going to stay in the mid lane with that Varus. And now Ahri is pushing in. It looks like they have this turret set in their sights. We have 3 members of the blue team here defending, and this could be a fight breaking out if Jarvan is able to land his Demacian Standard Dragon Strike combination. But right now we have a stalemate. Orianna has sat here out of vision, is looking to line up that proper shockwave, maybe going to put that Command Protect on Jarvan's head. The charm lands, the burst goes down on the Jace. He is eliminated from the fight before Orianna can even move in. And Ahri is currently single-handedly carrying this team on here with her Deathfire's Grasp. Unfortunately, over on the blue side, we have Nami and Draven going down to this Varus-Leona combo, and they will be able to take an uncontested dragon right here. Leona taking a bit of damage, but won't go down here, hopefully. And Varus and Leona doing work, able to claim a 2-0 and a 2v2, even though purple team did grab a little bit of advantage up there on the Jace. Did force the movement out of Hecarim and Ahri to rotate down and defend this bot lane to grab the blue for themselves. And we see blue team just continuing to move up and up with every good play by purple. We have 2 good plays coming out from blue. They're currently 6,400 gold up. as well as a 2-turn advantage with 6 kills in their name, and just that global gold coming out from the 2 dragons, as well as the 2 turret advantage, is making them very happy. We have a static shiv and a bloodthirster coming out from Varus. Going to be looking to build that last whisper soon with that pickaxe. Up in the top lane, we have Jace can't seem to decide on what item he wants to go for. He did end up going for a bloodthirster, but he's going to use that bloodthirster to go on to Lee Sin. Does kick away the Jarvan, but isn't going to be able to live from that very strong auto attack coming out from the shift into his ranged form, and so does put that that bloodthirster to good use. He Jace up here in the top lane has the makings of a Black Cleaver as well as Trinity Force, but with Ahri ulting in and throwing that Deathfire Grasp, should be able to clinch the kill onto Orianna with one more of Deception. Misses though. Hecarim is coming in, isn't able to put the damage here, gets creep locked, so which he can't do because he ignores unit collision, but he was just slowed down enough by that combination that he did not clinch a kill, and Ahri is now left without her Deathfire Grasp for ultimate, or her flash, which was used in that engagement. Orianna was forced to flash out, but was not taken down in that engagement, which is really what Purple Team needed. Orianna has not died yet this game, has put out a very good showing for her team, is very close to either getting a Rally's Crystal Scepter or a Void Staff, which is probably just getting next. And with the damage going down this mid-turret, there's nothing there to defend it. Draven is down in the bot lane, Ahri had to go back to base to heal, and with everything going down, blue team is just pushing the advantage every turn they get. They're currently 7,400 gold up, with a 3-turret advantage, 7 kills up. And Ahri is going to have to make some serious plays to assassinate this Varus, who's kind of getting out of control. Does have his last whisper now, in addition to his bloodthirster and his static shiv. Orianna is about to grab that void staff at, right now we're sitting about at 27 minutes, and very early for her to have this much ability power damage. Ahri did grab that Zanya's Hourglass, which will be a lot of power for her, but is mostly used for the defense there. Did pick up the Distortion Boost, which will be actually a very good pickup for her, having both Flash and Teleport. It's going to have a very reduced cooldown on both of those. But right now, Purple Team is just kind of forced to share farm here, clear out the waves, keep Blue Team off of their turrets, and they're going to have to figure out a way to defend this, because although they are keeping it within 6,000 gold, they're just losing turrets as it goes. Blue Team does come up here to take out this Lee Sin. Lee Sin just getting caught in all sorts of unfortunate situations. Might be able to go for the execute, but gets caught by the Dragon Strike Demacian standard combo, and does fall down to Jace for Jace's 6th kill of the game. While all of that happened though, Purple Team was able to grab the turret for themselves. The Ahri ultimate goes out, the Varus ultimate whiffs, but no kills coming for the Purple Team there. Grip up by Purple Team, capitalizing on that Lee Sin getting caught, and now Draven is the one getting caught, about to get caught by that knockup, does, as well as Nami falling very low there. With Draven hasn't actually fallen down yet. Let me get back here onto this fight, and Draven is about to go down to the Varus, hail of arrows. Now we have a very low Hecarim going down. Ahri hits her Hourglass. I am the worst cameraman on the planet Earth, and now we have an ace coming out for the blue team here. Lee Sin responds to barely make it a full ace. It looks like Draven was lagging a little bit right there, unfortunately. But in the end, a great team fight coming out of blue team. Let's see if Lee Sin follows up this Resonating Strike. Looks like he decides against the suicide there. And now we have blue team making a play on this turret. A lot of damage coming out from the Jarvan and Varus. And Lee Sin coming out, but a little bit too late to defend that turret. Now going in on the Jace, but Jace is able to calmly defend. They have taken an inhibitor turret. The inhibitor is going to be what falls down next. And right now this is looking very much in League of Blasted's favor over on that blue team. TwistShot is going to have to make a serious teamfight play, going to have to abuse their mobility with the Ahri, the Lee Sin, and the Hecarim if they want to make any kind of win out of this right now. And but if blue team continues pushing their advantage like they have, pushing down turrets, taking Dragon whenever it's up, then they will just continue to maintain the significant group advantage and might be able to claim the win soon enough. They do have to get that inhibitor down to be able to make a solid push on there. But until that happens, it could be anyone's game. Purple team definitely could come back in. Ahri has shown some very outstanding damage coming out with that Deathfire Grasp and on his Hourglass, providing her with enough AP pretty much to one-shot anyone on the opposing team. Orianna has picked up a Leandri's Torment, as well as her Abaddon's Death Cap, going to have a lot of damage coming out there. Not a lot of utility, and doesn't have a Zhonya's Hourglass, so might fall down if she gets jumped on, as well as the Varus, who's gone entirely offensive, is about to pick up an Infinity Edge with that EF Sword. And with Draven sitting on only an Infinity Edge and a Bloodthirster, doesn't have much attack speed to his name besides the Berserker's Greaves and the buff from his W. But another Dragon going down to blue team, bringing this up to a 9,000 gold advantage, 2 turrets up, 12 kills, and League of Last Hits is just in a very, very solid place. Scudo on Lee Sin had an unfortunate time in the top lane, has died 6 times, and Jace is now sitting very solidly up, has a pickaxe probably going for the Last Whisper, and looks like Jace is going to wait until he stacks up that tier before he goes for the Mirror Mana. Right now just sitting on a very solid mana pool, but he won't get the damage out of that until he upgrades. We have a lot of aggression coming out from Jace, actually almost picking up a kill on Hecarim, but Hecarim is able to run away. With all of that, blue team clinches an uncontested inhibitor. Scooter was up in the top lane, just pushing that out, unfortunately, and Ahri didn't have any opportunity to go in on someone. Draven was down farming in the bot lane, and a free inhibitor for the blue team is going to put them in a very powerful position. Now with super minions going to be spawning for the blue team, they might be looking to push down on this Baron. There is a ward in it by the purple team, and so if they go for it, they will be contested. But Draven is still in that bot lane farming. They do have lost their vision on Draven, so they know that he could be moving up. And with both teams circling around Baron, we have begun the dance. And the engagement going down onto Nami, the excellent Dragon Strike coming out from Jarvan, able to lock her up for yet another kill, the 23rd of the game for League of Last Hits. And with the support down, they will be looking to go for this Baron right here. Puts down a lot of damage onto it. The purple team might be looking to contest it, but at this point, if they try, they will die. They might be able to get the last hit, but Draven ultimate comes in, the blue team punches it. We have the ult over the wall from Hecarim, goes down immediately. Jarvan has fallen over the wall with Lee Sin going down inside the Baron pit. And Jarvan's about to go down now. No one was able to follow up on there, but we do have 3 members still alive on the blue team, all with the Baron buff, only 2 alive on the purple team. We might have Jason, Orianna able to catch up to this Ahri here if they take her out. This might be a base for blue team, but if they continue to chase instead of going onto the turrets, then they might not get a lot out of this except for the Baron buff. Nami has already respawned, is going to come in here to defend, does have her ultimate ability up, and blue team won't be able to get much out of this except for the Baron. They still will have 3 members of their team with the Baron buff, and once the rest of their team respawns, they should be able to push onto either of these inner turrets up in the top or the middle lane. Right now, the gold is looking at about 10,000 in blue team's favor. Going to be very difficult to come back for purple team, who's just sitting here at their Nexus turrets, having to defend against the super minion rush coming in. And with blue team now coming here in the bot lane, pushing up against that inner turret. The inner turret is still at full health, and so they do have a ways to go. With 4 members of the purple team close by to defend it, but they might not move in. It might be only Ahri here, and they might be able to put a lot of damage onto it. We have Jay sitting here with his very high attack damage, takes it down very, very quickly with his W. We have it down below half, below a third, and it has died in just one push to that Jace. An excellent play from Jason Orianna, just capitalizing on some mispositioning from the purple team, which we've seen happen a lot this game. Now 11,000 gold up, 6 turrets to 3, 13 kills up with a 25-12 score overall, and both teams are doing outstandingly. If we want to look at the individual gold here, we have Jace sitting up at 12,000, Varus at 13,500, and each member of this team is pretty much 3,000 gold above their counterpart. On every player except for our mid lane, Ahri has managed to stay dead even, just 100 gold separating her and Orianna. And until she can secure some sort of advantage, it will mean a lot for her team. She is 7-2 right now, but the rest of her team is 13,000 gold down. If anyone is curious, about these builds. We have the Spectre's Cowl over on the Jarvan, which gives him health and magic resistance, as well as some sustain whenever he is struck by a champion. And so during all that, we did have the Varus ultimate come out. Did not clinch any kills there for his blue team, but they do take a turret for free again. Purple team not in a position to defend these inner turrets, which are rather difficult to defend. Jax is coming up. Ahri popping the Zhonya's Hourglass. Should be able to get out of this alive. The ultimate coming in from Hecarim. He's going to be focused down very, very quickly. The kick from Lee Sin coming in, but the rest of the purple team is nowhere to be found. They do put a lot of damage onto the Leona, burning the Deathfire Grasp and the ultimate from Ahri onto it. And Leona does go down, but with 4 members of the blue team still alive against the 4 members of the purple team. This could actually be a little bit of a stalemate, some very low health bars on the blue team. But Jace able to lifesteal that right back up. With Superminions pushing in the middle lane, we will need someone to go and defend here. It looks like both Lee Sin and Draven have come in. Draven goes in onto the Orianna, gets taken down very low, and now Lee Sin is there 1v2ing it up. Does get taken down by the Varus. What was he thinking? He didn't quite have the damage nor the health to take that out. And with Jace jumping into this Ahri on the top lane, we have just complete domination from the blue team. Hecarim will be responding here. That's the second inhibitor of the game falling down over for League of Last Hits, and they are moving on to the Nexus turrets here. We have both Lee Sin and Ahri down. Unless Draven can make an excellent play here, they won't be able to defend this. The second Nexus turret going down very quickly. He's able to put down a lot of damage, taking out the Jarvan, but the damage being returned onto the Hecarim does flash out of it. Nami is about to fall to the Jace, but he is there alone in a 1v3. It does fall to Draven, but 2 Nexus turrets down, 2 inhibitors down. This is Blue's game to take. Draven does extend for the kill on Orianna and gets taken down by another Varus Hail of Arrows. We have a 15,000 gold advantage here for League of Last Hits. TwistShot is very, very close. It's just forced to defend their Nexus, exposed to these 2 waves of super minions. The Nexus hasn't quite fallen yet, but very soon it will when blue team decides to defend here. There's really not much the purple team can do to defend, even though blue team does have 2 members down. We have a 14,000. We have a 14 kill advantage, a 15,000 gold advantage, with I believe the 4th or 5th dragon of the game going to blue team in a row. I don't have the timer on Baron, but it should be spawning very, very soon in case blue team wants to go that to clinch their victory onto our purple team here, onto TwistShot. And with purple team just forced to even defend the open inhibitor in the bot lane, they won't be able to make any plays, won't be able to wait in the jungle for anyone, won't be able to really fight a team fight. We have a 0-6 Hecarim, a 2-8 Lee Sin. No one is really strong enough to fight here. Draven is sitting very solidly on his items, is close to getting his last Whisper. Won't have it in time for that final team fight though, which is a very unfortunate pickup. Opted to go for the Phantom Dancer instead for the attack speed and the critical strike chance. And overall, Varus is in a much more powerful position, has a static Shiv, a lot of attack damage coming out from the last Whisper, the Bloodthirster, and the Infinity Edge, as well as a Guardian Angel. So if purple team does manage to group together, take him down, they have to take him down twice. And the way it's looking, they won't be able to do that. They do have a ward in this middle lane, which will be good running fast. They now have no idea where the blue team is. Jace has opted to stop and take that blue buff, but as soon as he decides to follow up with the rest of his team, this should be the game over here for League of Last Hits, who will claim the victory in the first round of our Salt Lake Comic Con. With super minions moving into the space, purple team is forced to defend against both of them and the 5 members of this blue team. Jace is making it very quickly. The 3rd inhibitor falls down. We now have every inhibitor fallen over for TwistShot, and League of Last Hits is just waiting to make a play right here. They do have some excellent poke from Jace and Varus, going to be able to take them low before they can even come in. And Ahri is looking for an assassination to possibly defend this. Does ult in. We have the ult from Hecarim, but he is very, very low here. We have Nexus going down through all of that damage. And the first round of the Salt Lake Comic Con League of Legends tournament falling to League of Last Hits, so congratulations for the excellent game. Ending that up with a 15,000 gold advantage, 11 turrets to 3, and 29 kills to 15. So let me just pull up this client here so we can go ahead and see that. And an excellent game to our blue team League of Last Hits here. So I will go ahead and bring you guys some music until we get into our next game of the tournament. That was a very exciting game, and hopefully we have quite a few more like it today. So remember to stick around on stream, and I will bring you that as soon as we have it. So until then, enjoy, and hope to see you in our next round.